drop a like and do share. Leave your comments and do not forget to subscribe for more videos.
Hello students, my name is Niyati Said and thanks for watching Edupedia Word videos. My topic for the presentation is second section of the chapter Mineral Nutrition. In this section of the video, we will discuss about the micronutrient students. Micronutrients, it is also called as trace elements, which are needed in very small amount, less than 10 millimole kg inverse of dry matter. These include iron, manganese, copper, molybdenum, boron, chlorine, nickel and zinc. Okay, so these are the functions of boron, zinc, manganese, copper, iron, chlorine. Okay, so boron, it helps in the seed setting, and zinc, it helps in the seed formation. Manganese, it helps in the chlorophyll formation. As I told you that manganese is present in the center of a chlorophyll molecule. Okay, copper is also helpful in chlorophyll formation, students. And what about iron? Iron, it acts as a catalyst for chlorophyll formation. Okay, so these three, they help in leaf development, and boron and zinc, they help in seed development. Okay, now come to the root development. Iron, it acts as an oxygen carrier of legume root nodules. Okay, what about zinc? Zinc, it helps in the early stage growth of the root development. Manganese and copper, they help in the nitrogen metabolism. And stem development, zinc, iron and copper plays an important role. Zinc, what does it do? It helps in the protein synthesis. It helps in the growth regulation. And what about iron? Iron also helps in the plant growth. And what about copper? Copper gives the strength to the cell wall of a plant cell. Okay, now there are three elements which are involved in the fruit development. They are zinc, boron and copper. Zinc, it helps in the carbohydrate formation. Okay, and what about boron? Boron helps in the fruit formation. It also helps in sugar production, and it also promotes maturity of fruit. Okay, and what about copper? Copper, it also improves flavor of fruits and vegetables. Okay, now there are three elements which are involved in flower development. First is molybdenum. Molybdenum, it helps in the pollen formation. Okay, and what about copper? Copper, it helps to prevent wilting of a plant, and boron, it helps in the germination of pollen grains. Okay, now essential mineral elements. As I told you students that there are 9 micronutrients. Okay, iron, manganese, copper, molybdenum, zinc, boron, chlorine and nickel. Okay, so these are your micronutrients. They are also known as trace elements because they are needed in a very small amount, say less than 10 millimole kg inverse of dry matter. Okay, so they are needed in very small amount. They include iron, manganese, copper, molybdenum, zinc, boron, chlorine and nickel. They are 8 in number. Okay, you have certainly heard the phrase that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and perhaps you have been told to make sure your plate looks colorful with veggies, right? Nutrition plays a very important part in our lives. Essential nutrients in our diet, they contribute to a proper functioning of a healthy body. Plants, they follow a same approach. In addition to needing light and water to survive, they rely on the balance of essential mineral elements to sustain their growth. Does the word element sound familiar? In chemistry, an element is a substance that can't be broken down any further using chemical methods. Plant, they use elements for three primary purposes. First, to complete their life cycle, students, and second, to help perform a specific function, and third, for structural support and cell growth, students. Okay, macronutrient I have already taught you in my previous section of the presentation. Now we will discuss about the micronutrients. Okay, so elements which are required in a small quantity for plants to survive are called as micronutrients, students. Sometimes these elements, they are called as trace element as a way to describe their small quantity. Okay, so they include boron, chlorine, manganese, iron, zinc, copper and molybdenum. Okay. So for higher plants, there are some other elements which are required, such as sodium, silicon, cobalt and selenium. Okay. Let's discuss about the micronutrients, in which form they are absorbed, what's the role or the significance of that particular micronutrient, and the deficiency symptoms of micronutrient we'll study. Okay, so iron is absorbed in the form of Fe2 plus or Fe3 plus. Okay, that is ferrous and ferric. Okay, now what's the role of iron, students? Iron is required for chlorophyll synthesis. Iron is a component of cytochrome and nitrogenase, which is important in respiration and photosynthesis, students. Now, what are the deficiency symptoms of micronutrients? It produces short, slender root. It also causes chlorosis between the veins in the leaf. Okay, now come to the zinc. Zinc is absorbed in the form of Zn2 plus. Okay, now what's the significance of zinc, students? That zinc is a component of several enzymes. It is involved in oxygen synthesis. It is very helpful in maintaining ribosome structure. Okay, now what are the deficiency symptoms? Because of the zinc deficiency, what happens is leaf size and internodal length becomes very reduced. Leaf margins, they also get deformed, and it also causes chlorosis between the veins of the leaf, especially in the older leaves. Okay, so these are the deficiency symptoms of zinc. Now come to the molybdenum. Molybdenum is absorbed in the form of MoO4 2 plus. Okay, what's the significance of molybdenum? It is required for nitrogen fixation and nitrate reduction. Okay, what are the deficiency symptoms? It causes chlorosis, which is starting in the older leaves, and thus it progresses to the younger leaves. Okay, so because of the deficiency of molybdenum, chlorosis occurs, but it occurs initially in the older leaves and then it progresses to the younger leaves. Okay, because of the molybdenum deficiency, death of the interveinal area takes place, and then entire leaf gets dead. Okay, because of the molybdenum deficiency. Now come to the boron, which is another important micronutrient, students. Okay, boron is absorbed in the form of BOH thrice or BOH4 to the power 4. Okay, So boron is required for uptake and utilization of calcium ion. It also helpful in functioning of the membrane. It is also helpful in pollen germination, cell elongation, cell differentiation, and carbohydrate translocation. Okay. So these are the main significances of boron. Now what are the deficiency symptoms? It is seen that because of the boron deficiency, young tissue are most affected. Apical meristem, they die because of the boron deficiency, and the root tips, they become swollen and discolored. Young leaves, they become yellow at the base, and they also get twisted because of the boron deficiency, students. Okay. Now come to the copper. Copper is absorbed as cupric ion, Cu2 plus. Okay. Now what's the significance of copper? Students, it is essential for overall metabolism in plant. Like iron, it is associated with certain enzymes which are involved in redox reaction and is reversibly oxidized from Cu plus to Cu2 plus. Okay, so this is how its significance is. Okay, now what's the deficiency symptom of the copper? It causes wilting of a plant, wilting of a young leaves, to be more precise. Okay, they are often with the numerous dead spots on the blade. It also forms numerous dead spots on the leaf blade. Okay, copper is rarely deficient. It is seen that copper is rarely deficient. Now come to the manganese. Manganese is another main micronutrient. It is absorbed in the form of manganese ion. It activates many enzymes which are involved in photosynthesis, respiration, nitrogen metabolism. Okay? So the best defined function of manganese is in the splitting of water to liberate oxygen during photosynthesis. So that's the main significance of manganese. Now what's the deficiency symptom of manganese, students? It forms intervenal chlorosis. It also forms dead spots. Thylakoid membrane disintegrate because of the deficiency of manganese, students. Okay? Now come to the chlorine and nickel. Chlorine, it is absorbed in the form of chlorine anion, that is Cl minus. Okay. Along with the Na plus and K plus, it helps in determining the solute concentration and anion cation balance in cell, students. Okay, so that's the main significance of chlorine, that it helps in maintaining the ionic balance, or it is involved in the water balance, that is osmosis. Okay. And it is very much essential for water splitting reaction in photosynthesis, a reaction that leads to the oxygen evolution. Okay, so that is your chlorine. Now what's the deficiency symptom of chlorine, students? It helps in wilting of the leaves. Okay, they turn reddish bronze in color. It also causes chlorosis. It also causes dead spots. It causes stunted root with abnormal thickening near tips. Okay, so these are the deficiency symptoms of chlorine, students. Now come to the nickel. Nickel is absorbed in the form of Ni, that is nickel. Okay, it is essential part of enzyme in nitrogen metabolism. And what's the deficiency symptom of nickel? That leaf tips become so wilted, and dead spots, they occur on the leaf tips. Okay, so these are the deficiency symptoms of nickel. See, we will study about the iron first now. Iron. So plants, they obtain iron as ferric or ferrous iron. Okay, it is required in large amount in comparison to other micronutrients, students. Okay, iron is an important constituent of proteins which are involved in transfer of electron like ferredoxin and cytochrome. Okay, and it is seen that iron, it is reversibly oxidized from Fe2 plus to Fe plus, okay, during electron transfer. Now what's the function? As I told you that it is the main constituent of protein in which are involved in the transfer of electron like ferredoxin and cytochrome. It is reversibly oxidized from Fe2 plus to Fe3 plus during electron transfer. And another crucial function of iron is that it activates catalase enzyme and is essential for the formation of chlorophyll, students. Okay, so these are the main functions of iron. See, this is iron deficiency symptoms. See, these are the two leaves which are deficient in iron. Okay, so because of the iron deficiency, it gets yellow. Okay, the leaf turns to yellow color. Now come to the manganese deficiency. Okay, as I told you that it is absorbed in the form of manganese ion, that is Mn2 plus ion, and it activates many enzymes which are involved in photosynthesis, respiration and nitrogen metabolism. Okay, so as I told you that it is absorbed as manganese ion. Okay, functions are, it activates many enzymes which are involved in photosynthesis, respiration, nitrogen metabolism, and second function is that it is best defined function is in the splitting of water to liberate oxygen during photosynthesis, students. Okay, now these are the early stage of manganese deficiency. This is the progression of the manganese deficiency, that yellowish green color it is being converted into, and this is the later stage of your manganese deficiency. Okay, now manganese functions with the enzyme and it aids in the breakdown of carbohydrate and in the metabolism of nitrogen, students. See, these are the leaves with the progression of the manganese deficiency. Okay, now come to another micronutrient which is zinc. Okay, zinc, as I told you that plants obtain zinc as Zn2 plus ion. It activates various enzymes, especially your carboxylases. And another crucial function of zinc is that it is needed in the synthesis of oxygen, students. Okay, what it does, it helps in the formation of oxygen. Oxygen is a plant hormone, students. Okay, see, this is a plant leaf with a sufficient zinc, and this is the plant leaf with the deficiency of zinc. As I told you that zinc is very necessary for the transformation of carbohydrate. It regulates sugar consumption. Zinc is a part of enzyme system which regulate growth, and the sources of zinc are soil, zinc sulfate, zinc oxide and zinc chelate. Okay, so these are the main functions of the deficiency shown in this diagram. Okay, now come to the another micronutrient and that is your copper, students. Okay, so copper, as I have taught you, that it is absorbed as cupric ion, that is your Cu2 plus ion. Okay, and what are the functions of the copper? That it is essential for the overall metabolism in plants. Okay, and second is like iron. I just taught you about the iron. It is associated with certain enzymes involved in the redox reaction. Okay, now come to the boron. It is absorbed as BO3 3 minus or B4 O7 2 minus. Okay, C. Okay, boron is required for the uptake and utilization of Ca2 plus. It is also helpful in membrane functioning. It is also helpful in pollen germination, and it is also helpful in cell elongation and cell differentiation and carbohydrate translocation. Okay, so this is a plant leaf with the sufficient boron, and this is the plant leaf with the deficiency of boron. This is the control one, and this is our deficient one, which is observed on the 13th day without the boron, and then comes 19 day without the boron, and 21 days without the boron. You can see the differences in the boron deficiency. Okay, now come to the molybdenum, students. Molybdenum, they are obtained in the form of molybdate ion, that is MoO2 2 plus. Okay, this is your molybdate ion, MoO2 2 plus. Okay, it is a component of several enzymes, including nitrogenase and nitrate reductase. These enzymes, they participate in nitrogen metabolism, students. Okay, that's the main function. Now come to the chlorine. Chlorine is absorbed in the form of chlorine anion, that is Cl minus. See, this is the plant leaf with the chlorine deficiency, students. Along with the Na plus and K plus, it helps in the determining the solute concentration, and it maintains anion cation balance in cell. Okay, that's the main function of it, that along with the Na plus and K plus, it helps in determining the solute concentration, and it helps in the maintaining anion cation balance in cell. It is essential for water splitting reaction in photosynthesis that leads to oxygen generation. Okay, so this is the main function of the chlorine, and this is the plant without chlorine or plant with the chlorine deficiency. Okay, so this was all about the micronutrients. Now we will discuss about the macronutrients, such as nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur and iron in detail. Okay, so till that, stay tuned and keep watching Edupedia word videos. Thank you.